Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. I am so glad that you're here today. We got a little surprise the other day. I'm just getting caught up on just like my life. It was Mother's Day. My son came home. It's just been a lot and I haven't been feeling very well. So we'll talk about that also. But the big news for me was about the gold palette. And Natasha Denona holds a really special place in my heart. I feel like she was the first makeup artist that I adored and followed and picked up, her gigantic palettes that were huge amounts of my paychecks at the time. And I just was head over heels in love. I mean, we were all kind of in a different time. It was, pre-COVID, and this palette came out in October of 2018. So it was retired. This is one of my it's just an OG favorite. And I am a cool tone girl, and I still really enjoyed this. But funny enough, it was also because of these amazing greens. They were unbelievable. And for me, like, the greens were the huge draw because I would be totally happy if she came out with a platinum palette and it had taupes and navies and that kind of thing. But in the summertime, I do love a gold. And this palette is well loved. And, even the brown tones in here, like, they were things that I came back to a lot. Her formulas have changed a lot over time, and this palette does have 4 new shades in it. The new one that she's going to be making is going to be the MIdi Size, so it's going to look like the Yucca palette, which I wanted to show you anyway because I feel like we're sort of bringing a lot of things together here. So we have the gold one, and then Yucca came, and we kind of felt like we were getting, somewhat of that green gold story, just a little bit more modern. But these gold tones that are in here and bronzy tones definitely pull green. They definitely resemble, even if you're looking at her mini gold palette. These tones, we go back to over and over because we love them, because they look amazing on the eyes, because they sparkle and gleam and all of that stuff. And I've been wondering for a long time, like, is she going to re-release the gold palette? Will she come out with a MIdi version? I had no idea what, she was going to do next. I know a lot of you will be missing those teal colors, but those of you who have Metropolis, you have some really beautiful blue and green tones in here. This was not my favorite palette. And for a lot of people, it was their absolute favorite palette. Every time I did a look with this one, it just felt too warm. I couldn't cool it down enough. With the gold palette and even the Yucca palette, oh my goodness, these are Can't stain my hands yet. I'm not prepared to be stained this early. I have to go wash my hands. Well, they're very saturated. Back in 2018, the whole thing was, how pigmented are those shadows? You know, yes, they needed to be more pigmented than what we were getting at the drugstore and from, you know, the designer brands at the time. But Natasha, her formulas were, to me, revolutionary. They were just like in your imagination, to have a palette with this many tones and this many shades and this many choices. It was really very 2018. You know, we were all doing these very intricate designs on our eyes. And, you know, now I think we're all a little bit more chill about what we're putting on. I am very excited that she's going to be releasing this. I feel so bad that every time she goes to release a palette, something happens where she like gets her thunder stolen. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's part of the plan or if it's like all by accident, but anyway. I picked up a couple things today when I was out. This is the Luminous Silk Cheek Tint. I just want to show this to you. I am a huge fan of this Armani bronzer that I bought in 120. And I bought it in the 120 because I love the red undertone. And I did put some on before I came on, but I'm just going to turn it up a little because I'm feeling so pasty from not feeling well. So we've got to fake it till we can make it. And one of the colors that I picked up today is this flaming red. And the reason why I picked it up is because you can fake a really pretty sunburn with some red blush and some bronzer. So I'm going to show you that these are ridiculously pigmented. Now, when I say that, I mean you need like the tiniest little dots, and they will go a very long way. You can tap them out. And the color, I had this on my hand today. Picked this up at Nordstrom. I have all the colors except for the coral, the deeper coral, and I'm ordering that one from Sephora, but it's not in store, so I have to wait for it. These were such a pleasant surprise, and I have to say, like, Armani and YSL are getting a really nice makeover right now. And I don't think it's accidental. You know, those two brands go hand in hand together. They always think of the YSL one as like the younger girls and the Armani is the women, but you know, that's not how we roll around here. But you can get this really pretty sunburn effect where it looks like I've been outside, like gardening or sitting by a pool, and I've done zero damage to my skin. And red and a bronzer are just the perfect combination. And you guys saw, you need, like, this will last me probably until the end of time before I can use up the whole thing. It is flaming red. So in case you were missing out on flaming, honest to goodness, you need the tiniest little amount of this. I'm just going to take a teeny bit more just for... I overdid it when it was sunny. Why would I not overdo it when it's fake sunny? I used to absolutely roast myself. I remember how good it felt, but wow, I'm not happy about it now. But you can see, you get this really pretty flush that looks like I got a little too much sun. And I thought that was a nice way to kind of segue into doing some swatches from this gold palette. I went through a bunch of palettes and did some digging around, and there will be 4 new shades in the next gold palette. It's actually going to be called the Golden palette, not the gold palette. And I'm going to scoot over a teeny bit so I can put the new palette up here. I just want to be able to show you what these shades look like in 2017 and how we think it might be reimagined by the artist herself in her re-release of one of the really favorite palettes. I think that, you know, back then, I think people were, this was a big deal. It was a big deal palette. And I remember when they discontinued it, there were a lot of people who were really upset that they weren't going to be able to get it. This was one of the really expensive ones because this is the bigger pan size. And I have to say, these new ones that are like hard on the outside, and I mean, even me, who's like a huge, you know, Natasha Denona freak, you can't even go through these eyeshadows. I can't even go through my minis, you know, and they're beautiful shades. So I want to share with you what the new palette's going to look like and what the swatches look like, and taking a look at the colors. So I'm going to pull this up on my computer. I'm going to kind of be going like back and forth and stuff, but hopefully I'll just edit out all of the insanity. Try not to stain my hands again before I swatch. Okay, so the first color is called Mika. I think Miko. And it is going to be a new shade. So it looks to me like a beigey kind of a tone, not white, kind of a cream. And I'm wondering if there'll be any shimmer, if it's going to be like a topper shade. I don't know. I'm not taking guesses here. The second one is called Nubia, and that is new. Yeah, it is a new shade. It looks like one of her wet look ones, maybe those newer ones, or some kind of a, I don't know, maybe a glittery topper. It's really pretty. The next one is also not a repeat shade, called Pana, and to me that looks like a very soft champagne-y kind of a color, which I love. The next one is in this palette, and it's, you know, this palette's had these plastic things on them, and so I'm going to be going back and forth to like look and make sure. But the first color is Aria, and this color to me always seemed like a coffee, with cream. A little bit warm, not super warm, but a little bit warm. Gosh, did I start too low? I hope I didn't. I am the worst swatcher in the world, but I am going to try my hardest to show you these shades today. The next one I think is called Fizzy, and to me that looks like a sparkly champagne, which would be like a really cute name for it. Okay, so the next shade is called Varus, and I'm going to show you. This is what Varus looked like in the original gold palette. And you can see that there's definitely a little hint of green in that brown. It's just slightly less red than this one, and definitely you could see where that could be really pretty with a green tone, because it's really got that kind of undertone to it. The next shade is called Aura, and Aura is actually from this palette. This was her 10 pan palette. These were, I think, released around the same time as the really big palettes, or maybe right after. But this shade is a shifty, pearlized white color that shifts to a gold. So I'm wondering, like, this finish is definitely, 2017. I'm wondering if she's going to go kind of duochrome on this, or if she's going to do it more like a wet look shade. I'm interested to see, because this could be such a transformative kind of a color. And I love a pearly looking white, and this one flipping to gold. I think that the technology of what they can do with the shadows now is going to be so much different than what she was able to do in a lab back then, even with her imagination. The next shade is called Teak, and Teak is a beautiful cocoa color. And you'll see that with this one, you're getting a little bit more depth than you did with these, and it's definitely going to like a deeper place. Still very much in like those delicious coffee drinks. That's how I was really thinking about these. And this one has less green in it, but it's like a cooler brown than what we've been looking at so far. The next shade is called Kava, and Kava, it's almost like a topper shade. It's very thin, and it was the kind of thing that would twinkle and sparkle, and you could put it over other colors. And now I'm wondering if it will be like a shifty shade, or if she's going to stick with it. You can really see like there's a very warm kind of a shift going on with this one. And it's an interesting color, it really is. And the texture is different. I don't feel like she does this formula anymore, so it'll be interesting to see how she modernizes that shade. The next shade is called Sandstone, and that is in here. And this is, you'll see, these browns, even though they appear to just be regular browns, there is a significant amount of green to this shade. It definitely doesn't pull to red or orange. It's really a very green kind of a brown. Beautiful. Definitely creamy. Her mattes, we know, are amazing. The pigmentation on these from 2018 is still like unbelievable. I don't get it. The next shade is called Aurum. It's almost like a gold brass color, like an old-fashioned gold color. A lot of brass. And you'll see that like this shade and this shade both have that shift of that kind of warmer, brassy, old yellow gold, kind of dirty gold. Interesting. And definitely, like kind of feels a lot like this. And you can see like where this would be like such a neat shade extension, and that the tones would really go together really well. Okay, the next shade is Log, and this is the deepest brown shade from the palette. So you would use this like to, deepen an eye look. You could use it as a liner. I cannot believe how buttery these are so feeling to me. It's crazy. And that was the thing back then. It was the pigmentation and the butteriness, and she had all of that and the wonderful artistic view. And she just is the one who got me excited about these eyeshadows and watching videos on YouTube. And it just, I'm sitting here smiling because these palettes have brought me so much joy for a lot of years. 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh my God. Where is the time going? I can't stand it. It's too crazy. The next shade is called Oro, and this is the centerpiece shade in this palette. You can see it is a very, very almost brassy, coppery kind of a color again. So you can kind of see, like, you get a little bit of it here, and then you get a little bit more of it here, and then yet a little bit more of it here. So she really leaned into the greens and the warm, warm golds in this palette. And it was unusual. I mean, this was a whole new world for all of us every time these came out. The next shade is called Flesh, and this one comes from the Star palette. It's one of my favorite palettes ever. Flesh is, if you haven't seen the Star palette, I'm going to do a video with this. It is one of my all-time favorite palettes. It was all of her favorite shades, and this is such a well-loved one. It's my second one. I have another one over there. I went through it, and I don't think I've ever gone through an eyeshadow palette before. So this is Flesh down at the bottom. Let me get another swatch of that. My hand feels a little... There we go. You can see it's got some nice... It's almost like a toast color. Like a very... I don't know. It's definitely got a little bit of that warmth, but certainly nothing like, you know, like these kind of golds. Like, I kind of think it sort of would be beautiful with this one and then going into this one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The last one is called Alchemist, and I love this one because this one leaned a little bit less warm. I'm going to put it up here because we're out of room. But as you can see, we have some really gorgeous shades. And on top of what you see here, you're getting 4 more. So anybody who does not have the gold palette, I mean, mine is still in decent shape. I have to say, like, I was a little bit worried because it's, you know, like, this is from a while back. I was worried that they would be crumbly or it would smell or there was, you know, like mold or something. No, it's perfect. Perfect. I can use this a lot. So when she did the mini gold, I know a lot of people were really excited, and these shades just complement this so well. And it really did kind of start to lean into more of this yucca kind of green. And I also think that, you know, on top of these, you have to decide, like, from here, if you have this, do you want to go here? Or do you want to go to a cooler toned kind of palette? Because you really need to lean into golds and warmth if you like this. And I know we just got a cool one from her, but it's like, I always feel like, you know, there's so many warm tone palettes, but this one is legendary. And you will love it because every time you need these warm gold shades, you will have so many. I can't wait to see what she does with some of these formulas. She has so many new ones now with her wet formula and her, you know, chroma crystals and her metallics and her duochromes, and they're all just so amazing. And I'm really excited, like really excited to see what we get. And obviously I'm going to get it. I have every palette that she's released. And I love them. And I'm just sort of like wondering, you know, like what, there's these formulas, you can just see like, this looks like metal. And I'm just wondering, like, with these colors and these formulas, look at the shine. Crazy. Put them right here. I mean, you can just see. It's amazing how things change and stay the same. I'm looking forward to seeing the one that comes out when she introduces it. I thought it was a good thing for us to, you know, take a look at together. I think that if you have not experienced the gold palette and you love these kind of like warm gold shades, I'm sure it's going to be gorgeous. And in the MIdi size, it's a lot less to swallow. That was, you know, the $130 palette versus the $65 palette. Okay, so we're going to do just a quick look from here. I picked up some new lip products today. This is the new YSL LoveShine Candy Glow. This is another formula. Like, so the Candy Glaze ones I love. The LoveShine ones I did not buy because when I swatched it on my dry hand, it went into like all the cracks, and I was like watching the colors settle. That was one thing I wanted to tell you about these Armani ones. I had these on my hand like all day. I just took them off. Not one traveled like into like one of the dry patches on my hand. They just glided over everything and stayed so pretty, like all of them. I'm kind of amazed. They're really awesome. Anyway, this new lippy didn't look like it was settling in lines, and this color is called Brown Nude. So I'm just going to take my favorite Natasha Denona liner. This is now pretty much Storm 3.5. And this is one of her originals. When I found out that she was getting rid of these, I bought a bunch of them. It's my favorite. You can use like an Endless Cacao would be pretty. From Makeup Forever. Whatever your favorite nude is. I'm not into overlining right now. I'm not feeling like it's necessary. I just have my lips leveled up. Oh, this is so pretty. And it feels really good. Not as shiny as the Candy Glaze. What is this one called? Candy Glow. I'm liking it. It's just got a little hint of color. It feels really good. It's like very balmy. Not as shiny as the other ones. And maybe, you know, like I kind of like that. It doesn't feel sticky. It feels good right now. I'm going to wear it for a little bit while we do a quick look. All right, we're going to travel back in time to 2018. All right, let's see what we can do here. I put a little bit of primer on here. I'm testing out a new under eye concealer. I don't have thoughts on it yet, but I think I got a good color match. I am going to go into Aria, and we're going to take a little bit of this Aria, and I'm going to start to just get into that crease area. I like this color because it's very neutral, and you can kind of go any direction that you'd like from here. Now I go I have to go up here because my eye is more hooded. And if I want this to look like a realistic crease, I really need to like get up in there so that when I open up my eye all the way, I can see that. So just a really pretty wash. I'm going up against that brow bone, kind of like really looking to see how high up this is going. I like these kind of colors that are very neutral. I feel like so many palettes either skew like either warm or cool. And in this palette, you can see there's like really two distinct sides. They always say that her palettes, you can go in a row, you can look at any four that are touching each other. There's always a lot of different ways to combine the shades. I'm gonna stay away from the greens just because we're not getting those, and I kind of want to see, you know, what we can really come up with. I love this color as our first shade. I think it's really, really pretty in the crease. All right, the next one that we're going to go into, I'm going to take Varus. This is sort of it's got a little of that green. All right, you know what I want to do? I want to go into Teak. I'm just going to stick with the same brush, and I'm going to come out here, start to build just a little bit of definition here. And these are still blending so nicely. I mean, a Natasha Denona matte is unlike any other. She really, I think, revolutionized the way that we look at shadows and using mattes and, you know, really getting like a creaminess to a shadow that really didn't have that kind of a formula before. It was, I mean, look how pretty that is. It's just simple. And if you don't even want to go gold and you don't want to go metallic, you can still get a really pretty look from the gold palette. There was always a lot of different things that we could do. I am going to take this shade called Alchemist. I think that's a really pretty shade. And I'm going to just pat this on my lid. This has such an interesting sheen to it. And I love fingers. I mean, her shadows, if you want to amp up the shades, you can do that. See, that's really got that yellow gold. But mixed in with this brown, it works for me. Let's go over here. Tap this on. I want to take this shade called Java, and I want to just sort of blend out over here, just to give a little bit of brightness. Like that. I want to go back into the original shade and just make sure that we have some definition here, that we're not losing it. It's really pretty. Now I want to take something in the center. Alchemist. I think you're going to win the game. And we're going to just go a little bit more It's like jewelry. That's what this looks like. Looks like jewelry. I'm going to go into Log. This is that deep shade. I'm just going to add a little bit of smoke here. Just to add some depth. Really offset that warm gold. Really pretty. I hate my lip with this though. I need to take this lip off. Fix that. This is really pretty. Really pretty. I want to go into that pearly shade. That was all the way from the number 10 palette. I think this is going to be a really pretty inner corner highlight. Yeah, that really brightens things up. I'm sure that this formula will be different, but I really do love this golden pearl. Add a little light here. I mean, if you're going to do it, right? This is a very heavy kind of a shadow. Her shadows are so like light now, and they still do the same kind of thing. This has got a lot of texture to it. It's got a lot of it's a mighty shade. It's a heavy duty one. Okay, I love that. Let's go into, I'm gonna go back into Aria. I just wanna blend that out in my lower lash line. I'll probably have to do this again, but adding a little bit of Veris. Let's get some liner on here. Ooh, I think this will be like a fun color to put it with this. This is Victoria Beckham Surfside. And this is how we'll throw the teal back in. When I do this, I like to go very thick because I'm tight lining. I always use a dark color on the top lash line. Let's get some mascara on. See what we have rolling here. Of course, I'm using my Vast Lash because I can't stop. It's such a good mascara. It like defines, it lengthens. By the way, I'm so happy to be back on Grande Lash. I know that it's very controversial, but my lashes grew back. Or at least they're getting there. It's taken a little while, but I am really starting to get some length again and noticing that they're fuller, which makes me happy. I'm not a false eyelash wearer normally. I'll throw a couple individuals in once in a while, but generally, I think this is really pretty together. This teal liner, like, just gives a nice little nod to the original gold. Obviously, they're very complementary. There was a whole palette that she made with those colors. Like a really lashy look with these metallics, too. And I think this is like a more modern way of wearing this palette. I mean, back in the day, this would have been like this crazy sculpted look. But now, we're looking for blended and soft, but poppy and fun. And I need a better lip color because I do not care for that one. Let's put the nude back on. It's just that I'm not used to wearing something this warm. So I want to set it off with something that will be able to meet the challenge. There's just so many choices right now. I think we're going to go with the Dior Addict Lip Glow or Lip Maximizer in 030, which is a sparkling corally color. I think it's called Sparkling Rose. I will double check. Look how nice that looks. It's like a whole different ball game, right? Let's just for fun, one of these has like a little bit of peach in it. I didn't get the coral, but rosy peach. Give this one a try. This one should be pretty with this look. Again, like so pigmented, remember that. And I don't want to take away from our sunburn thing, so I'm going to go up a little bit higher with this. Just to add a little warmth because we have a very warm eye look and just want to make sure we're paying it some due. I think I want to go on my lower lash line again and just kind of deepen outside. I'm going to go into Log, which is that darkest brown, and just go on this side and bring it up to smoke it out. It's like everything old is new again, or everything gold is new again. I think we need some glossy highlighter of some kind, just as a little nod to 2018. I will be right back. This whole box is Natasha Denona cheeks. Let's see. I did not get that gold duo that she had at one point that I think came out with this collection. Tan has a very gold shade. This is like dead. Yeah, I can't put that on. I'll have to buy a new tan. Wow. Can go into bronze though, into the cream. It's time to repurchase these oldies. Now, you guys, I have to tell you, this little Bronze and Glow, I take this on vacation with me because it happens to be one of her prettiest color bronzers that she's done. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of this on because why not? I'm going to wash my face a little bit after this anyway. I'm going to take a little bit of this and just kind of carve out my cheekbone a little bit. Look at that color though. For me, it's just always been such a good bronzer. And then this highlighter, just little taps. Really pretty. 2018, you don't look so bad. It's kind of a different time too in makeup. I like this look. I'm excited about the new golden palette. Wow, those cheeks. It's like her next sale, I gotta remember that. Kind of crazy. So we paid a little homage to the gold and green dreams. My high school was green and gold colors. This would have been really fun. But you can see the kind of looks that you can get from this. And I'm sure that when she reimagines the palette in all of her new formulas, that we are all going to just drape ourselves in gold. And gold in the summertime, I love it. You just have to need that little bit of tan. Let me tell you a couple things that we're going to be doing, because I have a lot. Like, there was no makeup, like no new makeup, and now all of a sudden there's some new stuff. So this palette is supposed to come out, I think, in like 3 weeks. I'm really excited. I'm going to be picking up brushes that Wayne Goss is putting out. I'm excited to try his synthetics. I've been watching his videos and stuff, and they look really cool. I have a ton of Chanel to show you. I have Dior. I have Phytosurgence. I have a new brand that I'm kind of excited about that I'm going to be sharing. I just ordered the new Shimmer shadows, the Shimmer Clay eyeshadows from MIdi. I can't stop wearing these clay shadows, these cream clay shadows. I had the blue on today. They are just, with this top, I mean, gorgeous. They have now come out with a new formula. For those of you who watch Shelby Wilson, and for those of you who don't, you need to. She developed these new shimmer cream clay eyeshadows with MIdi, and they launched today. They're on my stories. And guys, if you haven't discovered MIdi yet, what a treat. So that's going to be coming up. I have so many lips here that I think I'm going to be doing like a lip a day. I really went heavy on the lips. I don't know if it was the world that went heavy or me. I have a couple of skin tints that I'm trying out, but I have to be totally honest. This is all I want to wear right now. It's on my face today. It's Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint. I've already ordered another one. I can't find anything that looks better. I am looking for a major concealer though, because I have a couple that I love. You guys know I love like my Girl On and stuff, but I'm trying out a new one. It's the Refy, and Jess Hunt did a lot of research on this to really look at colors, and it's a serum formula. All of the Armani lips to share with you, all these cheek tints to share with you. There's just so much makeup here, and I'm looking forward to sharing a new skincare line that I've been trying out that is not expensive. I love this lip, this Shimmer Rose. I like it. It's like just this side of coral, like where I can do it. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, and it looks great with this eye. And you can kind of see a little green undertone now in the eye look, but it is really pretty. All right, you guys, I'm going to hit the sack. I'm going to edit this in the morning and put this out for all of you. If you have not noticed, I have a couple things to say. Number one, my Instagram is my 24/7 place where you can reach me, you can ask me questions, you can tag me in things. I'm always adding to my stories, any new releases, any fun videos, you know, just things that I see that I want to share. And through Instagram, I'm hoping that we can communicate more often. And then over on YouTube, on the community tab, every single day, I put in a different question for you. And here comes my puppy. Hello. This is my little puppy. My big puppy, I should say. Hi, that's Sunny. Hi, Sunny. Sunny came right at the right time. Did you wake up from your little nap? he was all snuggled up on the couch and he wouldn't come upstairs. He was so tired that we couldn't get him to come up, so he's up now. Oh, he's my little baby. All right, you guys, this is my signal to hit the sack and get some sleep. I hope that these swatches helped, and I hope that you guys enjoyed kind of taking a little ride back to 2018. And let's see what 2024 Golden looks like. I'm very excited. Got to keep those names straight. The gold, the golden. I've got a golden over here. Okay, guys, it has been fun. I liked hanging out with you and taking this ride back in time. I thank you all for being here today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, we would love to have you join the family. Please give me a thumbs up. It does help me get my video out to more people, and more eyes means more people that we can, be in our community with us. And please, any comments, questions, concerns, things that you want to share down in the comments section. Do you have the gold palette? Will you be picking up the golden one? Are you excited about it? Do you have the old one and you're not going to get this one? Tell us what your thoughts are. Tell me what you thought of this look. I'm looking at it now and I think it's really pretty. I sort of might be changing my mind on this gold thing. All right, my baby's crying. I'm going to sleep. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and traveling back to 2018. I had a great time. Thank you so much for being here today. If you have not yet subscribed, we'd love to have you become part of the family. Give me a thumbs up. It does help me get the video watched by more eyes, which is always a good thing. And I will see you guys all very, very soon. Take care. Bye.